All
And we
right.
are here. We are here.
Yep, Mitch, I got something I have to admit to you.
What's that?
So you're not going to be happy. So with
Oh dear
Comic
Lord.
Palooza, I know that you're going to be with the guild, so you already have your outfit essentially picked out. So I'm going
Yeah.
with a friend, and we're trying to figure out our joint duo costume. And I know you have a thing against furries. So
Oh,
have you heard of Beastars?
oh no! Who doing
What?
Lego sheet? Who doing
No.
artwork?
No.
So look. It's like the first TV show that we watched together during the pandemic. So it helped me with our bond. So I've already lost you. It's
you,
not it's not set in stone yet, but it's an option.
don't you about to have me pull out the Jason mask? Like I'm going beyond Shinigami. I'm not even gonna be a rogue Jedi. I'm just gonna be a murderer.
Oh my gosh!
All right, so we're gonna get to it. So, for our listeners, we have two special guests today. We have one of our first ever guests. We have Autumn, who is on our third episode, aka the Autobot, and then we also have another one, Dejan Dante, who we'll get to and introduce later. So, I'm Demetrius,
And I'm Demetrius.
and Meech presents.
Flirt City Podcast.
All right. So last week we dropped our episode X-Men 101. So we did a full breakdown of the X-Men, also Brotherhood of Mutants, and just also their ops in that department. That way we can set you up for the X-Men draft that we are planning today, similar to how we did our anime villain and then anime villain draft. So that's what's going on tap for today. But before we get into the good stuff, let's hit you with the legal spiegel.
All right, so the purpose of this podcast is to explore digital and print media. All sources we reference are owned by their respective companies, and our thoughts and agendas are strictly our own and reflect no biases or corporate agendas. Your discretion is advised, especially you furries.
So do you want to just quick intro the guest, brief overview before we break down into it?
All right, all right. So of course we have ourselves the returning guest of the show, Miss the Autobot herself, Miss Autumn from episode 3.
Hello, hello.
Hello there, hello there. Well, welcome back to the show. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
And we're about to experience some true greatness today. Then we also got this other guy on screen. He one of the boys, another longtime listener, so we had to get him on at some point. And we got ourselves our boy, the Dajin Cajun himself, Dante. Say hello to the peoples.
What's going on, you guys? Your boy Dejan Cajun.
Yeah, glad to have you on. I remember just like quick talking to you, and then you were talking about how much you love the X-Men and then different games, and I was like, we're having an X-Men draft, perfect guest to have on. In addition, so that's gonna be cool. So before we get into the draft and introducing you further, we always get into what's hot. So anything that have you seen in just like pop culture, nerddom, TV shows, movies, comics, games that either any of you have seen before?
A lot. A lot. I know if we don't want to do like comics, we don't do like animes.
Anything.
All of it.
So first like anime I ever watched in life was literally Inuyasha, and then it was Pokemon, and then just go for like 50 more animes, and then now I started to love Full Metal Alchemist more now too.
Nice. Brotherhood or just the normal one?
Both, but I love Brotherhood more too.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mitch, you got anything?
Yes. Okay. So this week kind of been wild out here in these streets. Of course, Last of Us decide to come and hit the gate swinging.
Yeah.
It hit people in the emotional feels twice, and I'm just like, yep, we're going through that again. That's why I should have got a therapist when I get it. But it's fine.
For
It's
that, I
fine.
love how they changed the kind of like the not the ethos, the mythos, or just like the
The origins of
yes, the origin of it, because it wasn't. I don't think the hive connectedness was in the games, right?
I don't.
You mean the fireflies in them?
Well,
No,
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 like if you touch the fungus, all the like infected like common clickers like can do that. I don't remember that in the game.
I think they did in the game, but I think once you hit the spores, you get affected by it if you like, breathe it in.
Mhm.
Yep. So yeah, so that's kind of going wild. It's going nuts. out here. Let's see what else is cool. What else is new out here? I'm just gonna look up, see what's in the comic realm. Let's see. And nothing really new come out. Like we're about to see the finale of Dark Web soon, like in the next week or so. So thank goodness that's about to end, because that way I can start saving money. And then in terms of anime, oh boy. All right. So firstly, let me talk about One Piece for a quick second, because that anime budget increase wasn't necessary. That wasn't necessary. What are y'all doing? Why'd y'all do that? And y'all want my money? Because y'all gonna get it. All right.
Yeah.
And then next of all, we got the Demon Academy. Ooh, the Demon Academy Misfits. That was season 2 is just amazing. I literally binged the entire first season in like a couple days. So I was on a different tier. Next thing on the list was Blue Lock, because
Of course.
The soccer anime.
because we know you have to lock in, brothers and sisters, lock into the culture, lock into the What Do crew. And then finally, we gotta talk about the movie that just dropped.
Yes.
From the time I got reincarnated as a slime, the movie
Oh.
Scarlet Bond.
I'm about to watch that movie, and I'm binge watching the second season right now.
All right,
Nice.
so I'm not gonna spoil anything for y'all, but that movie had us all laughing so hard.
We were squad deep with the with Gab Freak and Paulina.
And
That's funny. I realize my friends are demon lords because they hate the power of love.
Yep. Well, you already knew that with me, so it was just extra confirmation. You should have guessed with Gab Freak. You should have guessed with him.
I do.
So yeah, that's it from the anime scene right now, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got for right now.
All right, so I'll be brief, but I just got back today from the Royal Rumble, which was yesterday.
Ooh.
Wow, that was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my life. Like, it was absolutely insane, incredible. The countdowns, the crowd was going crazy at just different points. I could talk so much about it, but it was literally one of the most fun times of my life. Getting back was a struggle because I had to drive through a monsoon, but I'm here, so we're good. As of this recording, the Friday after this recording, we have Knock at the Cabin. M. Night Shyamalan is back with another movie. It's going to be a mind bender, I can already tell. And then just a quick thing, the week after this podcast comes out, Hogwarts Legacy, the game drops. So,
Ravenclaw all day.
Look, can I tell them?
Yes.
All right, so they just released news that you are able to torture and murder other people in the game as a student. That was the tipping point for me. I pre-ordered that thing on the spot when I got that news.
You
I'm
psychopath.
I'm about to be the most famous wizard in the entire world for all the right reasons.
Absolutely.
Voldemort ain't got nothing on me. I'll commit war crimes he never even thought of. It's not defense against the dark arts. It's defense against me. Don't come to potions class, y'all. Don't come to potions class.
All right, so we can get into it. We're gonna do a Who Are You? We like to introduce our guests, kind of get into their just like whole nerd background. So, Meech, you can kind of take the lead on this, and we're just gonna get into more of the Dajin Cajun as we will.
Yes. So, Mr. Dajin Cajun, I just want to ask you, introduce yourself to the good peoples. Who are you? Who you is? What got you into this life?
So, yeah, my name is Dante Brown, and also you know me as Dajin Cajun on all platforms. Basically, Instagram. So I do Twitch a little bit, but with friends of mine, and also I'm also on it's mostly on Instagram. But I've been liking like comics and anime for like a little while since I was like growing up. Of course, my favorite hero of all time is literally Spider-Man. He's got Spider-Man. Yeah, and Spider-Man, like he's been like my go-to like hero, no matter what people say about it. And it was him, and it was also Bobby Drake from the X-Men, aka Iceman.
Be careful, they might steal your pick.
Hey, we gonna catch these hands.
Writing that down.
Number one pick.
It's like whoever goes first controls the destiny of everybody. That's gonna be wild.
So yeah, I've been an anime fanatic, mostly a Pokemon fanatic too, because I grew up loving Pokemon ever in my life. Like each and every Saturday, I watch a new episode of season back in like the 4Kids days. And then also on 4Kids, I was watching the X-Men's Evolution as well too, which
Ooh.
literally got me the start of me loving superheroes as well too, and other heroes from like different realms. Not only just Marvel, but DC as well too.
Mm.
And next you know it, here I am, and of course representing Pokemon on my arm too, the little
Nice.
Butterfree.
A nice Butterfree tattoo on your arm. I
I
see
love
you.
that.
Yeah,
Nice.
and
Well,
yeah, that's mostly it. That and I think I lost count over like 80 animes I'm watching.
yeah, it's like that with anime. So why would you say that you like never left the nerddom?
Man, what I don't know, I just really just stuck to it because like I get to reach out to other people who would also like a nerd like me and who also used to like to. Cause me, I used to be like a closet nerd. Cause I used to get picked on for like the things I like as well too, and and I don't know, like I just like be afraid to like tell people like what I like or what I'll be around. Then next you know it, I started going to a convention. I started going to other people as well too, and then it really was encouraging to see others as well too, even in the Black community as well too, like being like nerds just like I am right now as well too. So I'm just really just glad to be in this podcast for sure.
Dope. Meet you got anything else?
Awesome. Yeah, I just have one last question. So, as of right now, what you watching? What you into?
So anime wise, I'm watching Reincarnated as a Slime. I'm rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho.
Mm.
I am rewatching. I just finished Trigun. It's a really amazing anime. And right now I'm rewatching X-Men Evolution with a friend of mine as well too. And lastly, what am I watching? Of course, we're watching Boondocks.
Yes, sir.
Really amazing show. Shout out to Aaron McGirder, man.
Mhm.
Timeless, I say.
Yep, and that's about it.
Dope. So before we get into the draft, we're going to hit you with our sponsor for the day. And then when we come back, I'm going to get into the rules, breakdown, setup, and we're going to start our picks.
All right, for today's sponsor, we have ourselves Krakoa's 3 drugs. So, with these Krakoan pharmaceuticals, you're able to procure these legendary items, if you will, in order to extend your life. You're able to cure any disease and ailment. And then you may also get yourself your very own hidden X gene. Now, do note that these come with only the risk of potentially being overcome by Mr. Sinister, but in other potential benefits, all you have to do is just support the nation of Krakoa and all mutants arise. If we see one sentinel, consider your privileges revoked. So please, come to us today at the Krakoan Pharmaceuticals.
Nice. As long as they're not selling fentanyl, we should be good in Krakoa. So we're good there. All right. So let me share my screen just so we can highlight it. I'm going to read off the rules first for our X-Men villain draft. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We're in business. So the goal, it's X-Men / mutant. So as long as that qualifies, we're going to get deeper into it for our draft. So the goal is to put together the most powerful, coolest, or dangerous group of mutants in the multiverse. So there's going to be 6 total rounds. Each person will select 1 mutant per round with 5 on your main roster and 1 wild card. It's a snake draft, so whoever picks first in round 1 is going to pick last in round 2. Whoever picks last in round 1 picks first in round 2. Autumn and Dejan, you would have got the first 2 picks, but Meech doesn't believe in chivalry. So
Wow.
Nah,
Wow.
it died
Wow.
years ago.
Is it at least random?
yes, so
Okay.
we're gonna randomly select it right now, and there will be no shenanigans or complaints about it. So then for the wild card round, we're going to regenerate it again for the order. So for the rules, they only count initially for the first rounds. Don't take forever to pick or you get given blob. Have a minimum of 20 mutants ready to go. One of us does not have that, so
Chill.
So good luck.
We'll adapt.
All right. Mutants are from Marvel only. Duh. Must be mutants, not mutates. Meech, if you want to quickly discuss the difference between that, which we highlighted last week.
Yes. So, in case you haven't heard, mutants, you are born with an X gene and you develop your powers roughly around puberty time. Of course, there's like a few sections where they develop it later. But in case of mutates, that's where you're born a regular person, but then an external factor happens to where you get your powers afterwards. So, for example, Iceman is a mutant because he was born with the X gene and he gained his powers around puberty. Peter Parker, however, Spider-Man is born a regular human if he hadn't getting bit by that spider. So he would have been a regular until that point happened. So that's your main difference between mutants and mutates.
Yes. So going along with that, so the mutants are all first 5 rounds. In the wild card, you can have mutates for that. So picks tying into the definition have to have permanent mutation. So it's either physiological or biological. This counts for the wild card. They can't have special suits, temporary doping boosts, or outer modifications that give them powers unless otherwise stated in comics, TV, film. So Doc Ock doesn't count because his arms are the power. He's not a mutant or a mutate. And then the serum from Logan, you can't take serums and then like when it's done, not be a mutant or mutate. So that's not going to count. And do Inhumans or aliens count? Absolutely not. So next rule, you can't pick an entire group with one pick. So you can pick 6 members of the Brotherhood of Mutants, but you can only use one pick at a time for each member. You can pick a duo / group only if they make up one entity. So Multiple Man or Mystique, because Mystique can change into different people. So that kind of qualifies. You get one version of the character and their linear progression. Alternate versions are separate. So Wolverine also means you would have Old Man Logan, but it doesn't mean you have X-24 as well. And then for the last one, in our conversation last week, there was a big conversation about getting retcon. So Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver for the longest time were mutants post Civil War, right? Or Age of Ultron. Post Age of Ultron,
yeah,
they get changed to it. So they're essentially not mutants anymore, quote unquote. But if they're retcon to being not a mutant, but spent more canonical time as a mutant, they are eligible as a wild card. Are we good with the rules?
Yes.
All right. For the random generator, I'm about to click it. Again, I don't want to hear any complaints.
Okay.
Oh, baby! Let's go! It's time! Oh,
I'm afraid.
Oh, yes, it's time.
All right.
I'm with it.
So Meech is number 1. Autumn is number 2. Dante number 3. And then I am number 4. We're going to regenerate during the wild card round. All right, let me stop sharing my screen real quick. And then, so when we go through the draft, we're just going to keep going each round. And then afterwards, we are going to discuss our picks and why we selected them after. All right. Are we all good?
Going so I don't pick someone that's already been picked.
What do you say?
Is there gonna be a list going so we don't pick what's already picked once we get farther down? I don't know if I'll remember everything.
Let me,
That's
I'll
okay.
record as we go.
Okay.
All right. Let me just make sure I can record that as we go. And Meech, you're up. So we all have the rules. We should know which order we're picking.
Give me that boy, Magneto.
You scumbag.
Yeah.
Give me Magneto. Give me Magneto. Do it.
Ugh. All right. Autumn.
I'm gonna go with Jean Grey or Phoenix.
That was my number 2. That's a good pick. All right. And Dante, yeah.
All right, give me Anne Marie LeBeau. Give me Rogue.
Oh, man. That was going to be one of my sleeper picks. I am taking Wolverine.
Nice.
All right.
I'm mad that you took Magneto because I was going to do a combo pick of them. And that way it nullifies his weakness.
Nah.
So I am going to go with Storm.
Ooh, nice. Aurora Monroe.
Yes.
All right.
And you are up next, Dante.
I'm next.
Yep.
Yep.
All I'm gonna need a tank. So give me Juggernaut.
That's a solid pick.
Dang, these have all been on my list. Okay. Okay, I'm also going like with muscle. I'm gonna go Beast.
Ah,
Hank McCoy.
had to do it for the furries.
Hank
That would have been my
McCoy.
number one anyways. So my
All
number one.
right. All right,
Right.
continuing on this gravy train that I'm going. Give me Apocalypse.
You maniac.
Nah.
I left him off my list because I was like, he's just too big to even qualify. But yeah, that's a good
Nah,
pick.
he counts. He counts. And we keeping the gravy train going. I'm
Mhm.
going with an outside pick for this one.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I'm going with the third Scott Summers brother, Vulcan.
Okay. That was off the beaten path. I like it though.
Nice.
All right, Autumn.
Okay. My next is also ranged attacker is what I have down. So I can choose Cyclops then, right?
Yep.
Yes, you can. That was a good one.
Storm was my first, but Cyclops is a good second.
All right, Dante.
oh, so my other character would be Psylocke.
Just a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe we're in the third round, right? So let me see who I want. There's a few names standing out at me. Let me get Deadpool.
Ooh.
Wait, is he a mutant though?
He had the latent X gene, and they
Uh-oh.
brought it out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I thought that was only in the movie, but it's whatever.
No. Canon. Okay, so for start of the fourth round, we got to get Professor X on the team. I need a leader. I need a strategizer. Let me get Professor X, the GOAT.
Good choice.
That's
That's
really good. Oh man. I would take Cable.
nice.
Okay.
Nathan Summers.
My next one, I think I'm gonna choose Mystique.
Oh,
How can you not? That's my mobility undercover gal.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You already know what direction I'm going in, considering these past picks. I'm picking Legion.
Oh my gosh, that's just not fair.
he's trying to destroy the world, Meech.
Yes.
Look, I'm pure darkness, baby.
Okay, fifth round.
Wow.
Your
Oh yes, it's me again, right? All right, so this is actually another on the off-beaten path. I gotta give a shout out to the representation. I'm picking my boy Sync. So Sync, I'm not gonna explain it right now. I'll explain it in the post analyses about what he does.
All right. So that would be Autumn next.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. I need an elemental. And I heard someone call out one they like, so maybe I won't choose that one. I'll go with Pyro. Let's do that one.
That's a good one.
All right, Dante, this is the last chance to get your boy.
Bobby,
I know, I
Bobby,
almost-
come here. Bobby, come here. I was gonna say Gambit, but Bobby, come here.
Okay, cool. Well, I gotta go with one of my favorite X-Men, Nightcrawler. We need a teleporter.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, Kirk Wagner.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
I almost took that one for my.
All right, so now we are in the wild card. We're going to regenerate. I get the feeling that Meech is going to somehow get it again, but we're just going to change the order on this.
What? Wow, you really gonna do me that dirty like that?
I mean, you could still get first. It's random. I'm not in control of this. All right, here we go. Watchy still gets first.
Oh, dang.
I still get last though.
Love it.
You love to
I got
see it.
first.
Yes,
You love
in
to
the wild
see it.
card. So Dante, Autumn, Meech, and me for the wild card.
This
All
is
right.
gonna be a hard one. Oh, what? My wild card is going to be. I like Sabretooth, so I'm gonna use it as my wild.
Oh, okay.
Your literal wild card.
Okay.
Nice.
Mine's gonna be Kitty Pride.
Shadowcat?
Yeah, Shadowcat.
Okay.
That's a good one.
And then I'm picking a mutant that debuted like within the past 2 years. Her name is Iska.
Okay.
I'll let you know where her powers are soon.
Iska.
Okay.
That's not familiar.
This is a tough one because I either have to be loyal to the brand or I have to try to match Meech. And the wild card is hard. So I'm between Spider-Man or Scarlet Witch. And I'm gonna go with Scarlet Witch.
Match my energy.
House of
Yeah.
You have to.
House
Might
of
as
X.
well.
All right, so we have our teams. Once we get to that, make sure you have your people recorded.
Oh, nah, I got everybody who I wanted.
Yep.
I got most.
I just thought I had enough.
You came through.
I only had 2 left, so I was like, ah.
Let's go.
I probably got a solid team. Why put Ice Cube instead of Iceman?
Straight out of Cocoa.
All right, that's really dope. All right, so we all have our teams recorded. Meech, since you went first, you can break down your team and why you picked them.
All right. So in case you didn't know, like everybody except for one of these are Omega level mutants. And that's Sync, but let's break this down. We got Magneto. Hands down one of my favorites, one of the best leaders, philosophical ideals are he's one half of the duo. And of course his power is literal magnetism. There's a point where he literally flipped the Earth's like magnetic poles, and that ended up causing so many tidal waves and destruction upon entire New York. So I just like, and that's just touching the tip of the iceberg on what that man can do. So I had to keep him. Next off, Apocalypse. Need I say more? All right. That again, I'm just gonna keep it going. Next up, Legion. Do I need to say more? If you've seen that show, you know what type of demon he can be.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, his powers may fluctuate based on his personalities, but he got so many, like basically I'm all of y'all put in one. And then next up is the third Summers brother, Vulcan. He's pretty out of pocket. He's actually the strongest of the 3. And like his powers is pretty much on a similar wavelength with energy manipulation, but it's to a higher degree than the other 2, to where he is classified as Omega because of it. And his strength is out of pocket. And he's also has the most Black Air Force out of the 3 of them, even more so than Cyclops. So I had to pick him. And yes, the big theme of here are just true demons and Black Air Forces. That's
so is your team name Omega or Bust?
Oh, look! The name is gonna come soon. Just give me a moment about that. But you actually gave me something good. But next up is Sync. Sync. He is firstly he a brother. And his power is that he literally can emulate and take on the powers of other powered beings around him. So imagine Rogue, but you don't have to deal with the life drain issue.
Oof.
And he can take on multiple powers at once. And he displays a degree of mastery beyond whoever he's copying. So, for example, there's this one mutant, I forgot who he is, but essentially, Sync could use his ability, and he used his abilities to where he could fly when old boy was like, wait, I could fly with my abilities?
Wow.
Yeah, so he displays an even greater ability than the person who he's copying, and he can hold multiple powers at once. So, combined with the My Stack team is kind of a problem. And now the last person, Iska. But her actual full name is Iska the Unbeaten. Her powers is literally to be unable to lose. I'm being dead serious about that.
What?
Her power is literally she is unable to lose, meaning that in every circumstance, like all, it's kind of like a probability type of deal, but it's to a massive like world altering degree to where whoever side is going to win, that's what team she's going to end up being on. Or like she will essentially conjure up enough strength. She will be like as tactical as needed in order to win the fight.
Wow. So she's basically a walking Deus Ex Machina.
Literally that, yes.
Wow.
And literally, there's like almost no way you could. No, there was no way you could beat her. Sure, you can manipulate her to where like it puts her in an unfavorable position or undesirable, but still favorable to her. But that's about it. That's all y'all got. But yeah, in terms of my team name, it's gonna be the Omega Force.
Ooh, that's pretty dope.
That's hard.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty dope. All right, Autumn, you're up next. Break down your team.
Okay. I don't have a team name. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. So I went first. I had kind of like a game plan. I wanted different categories of people, maybe not all the same. So my first one I wanted was like a telepath, kind of like a game changer, someone who's going to kind of lead the team. I kind of got chaos though. I went with Jean Grey, so Phoenix. She's so powerful, right? Like reading minds, telekinetic, like all those things. Yeah, but pretty emotionally driven. So we'll have to work with that. Okay, so that's our team leader. Not great story, but she's powerful. My next one, I was like, okay, after that, we need some muscle. So I'm with Beast. He's not only like super strong, superhuman strength, all those kinds of things, but he's also like a genius. So he also kind of balances us out here now, right? So we have some logic in the building, also some muscles. So I went with him. And then I was like, okay, so we got that. Now we need some range. So I went with ranged attackers with Cyclops next. And also Cyclops, Scott Summers with Jean Grey, like that's his leader. So like he'll do whatever for her.
That's true.
That element in there too. Why not have them?
He's a simp.
Yeah, unless it's with Emma.
For sure. So he's best on her team. Okay, and then my next one, I needed some mobility, someone more sly, like undercover type person. So I went with Mystique, shapeshifter. And also she was just my favorite growing up, so I had to choose her. I thought she was super cool. Yeah, so she can get us into some interesting scenarios. And then I went with an elemental. So I was gonna take Iceman, I'm not gonna lie, but I had some grace. I almost I was like, I hasn't chosen him yet. That was my other guy, but also fire's better. So I went with Pyro. Yeah, you gotta have that, right?
Fire Nation here.
Hey.
And it goes with our chaos, right? It goes with our chaos on this team. So we just need a little chaos, a little uncontrolled flame is cool. He can control it. But and then my wild card, I just kind of leaned into it, went with Kitty Pryde, some more mobility undercover type stuff, more chaos. She was also one of my favorites. Being able to like go through everything, and she's pretty like invulnerable when she's like attacking or being attacked and all that kind of stuff to me, and like the things that she does. So yeah, my team's chaotic, but I think they can get it done.
Yeah. I think you got a lot of OGs in there. So maybe
Those
that could be your team.
Those are the ones I've seen.
Got a lot of good ones.
The OG 6.
Yeah.
And the simp.
Hey.
That's the team name.
Wait, the OG6 plus simp.
Baby G, don't leave me.
All right,
What's your name,
Dante.
Emma?
Well, he could also get turned into dust powder, so it goes either way.
True. Better have right.
So
Dante.
my first person, I really had to get her into the squad because one, she can absorb people by just touching them, and two, I mean, she do have a limit, but she knows well to use her powers too. I thought I picked Rogue, and then she also, correct me if I'm wrong, she did take most of Miss Marvel's powers. So
I believe that's what Mitch mentioned last week.
Yeah, so she can fly and she can use most of what Miss Marvel can do. And I was like, well, she got super strength, she can fly. She basically got like the generic superhero pack and just made it her own.
Yep.
Then my second pick, I had to pick the big boy, and I was surprised no one had picked Juggernaut.
It was your second pick.
It was your second, so
yeah, and then literally like this dude can like make earthquakes by stepping on the earth, literally. There's that, he just go through anything. The only weakness he has is like hit him, like get his helmet off. But in other ways, he's like almost unstoppable. And then my third pick was Psylocke. So I got a person who can actually just be really quick on her feet and also very good in a long and close range. So that's why I pick old girl Psylocke. Cable, I think about making Cable as my leader because he's like the most one of the most experienced in like battling from like future and fusion and he sometimes a little bit in the past as well too. But this man, he's combat ready. He got the sense on him, and he's been fighting Sentinels for a while as well too. And of course, he's the son of Scott Summers because he should learn a lot from him. And then I got Iceman because you always gotta have an elemental with you. And then Iceman's like one of my favorite X-Men's growing up. And this man can literally just, I mean, this man can literally just almost freeze the whole earth if he can, he feels too.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely having Bobby on my team. And lastly, Sabretooth, like literally my scout, because this man has really good sense of smell. Like he can just smell someone from like one continent to another. Almost like I'm just exaggerating, but
Essentially.
Yes, it's that, and then his fighting style is like really like unorthodox, but people can like find out what to do his next move. But at the same time, he's like a really like dope person to have in my team. So I'll definitely have Sabretooth. And
Dope.
it.
You got a team name? Or are you thinking?
Still thinking.
Let's go. And for me, obviously, I had to start with the face of the X-Men, face of mutant kind, Wolverine. I mean, that means I get Old Man Logan. That means I get the ultimate when he turns into the Phoenix Logan as well. So, I mean, yes, I do have the Magneto weakness, which is what I was going to compensate for, but it is what it is. Next one, Storm. I mean, another Omega level mutant. Storm is one of the OGs. She could be a leader of the X-Men. I mean, I have three essential like people that were leaders of the X-Men at different points in time. Storm, one of the most powerful mutants, controls the weather, so we can shut down almost any other mutant with just like weather related issues. So that would be dope. Next one, Deadpool. I mean. What can I say? The dude that can't die. So Deadpool he's going to mess with a lot of people as different mutants and teams. He's like Sword. He can teleport using what we mentioned last week, Mitch. So just with that, I think he adds a fun element to the team that is kind of chaotic. Next, Professor X. That way we can recruit more in the future. Also another Omega level mutant. He can get into people's minds. Once again, I have the Magneto weakness, which I would have compensated for initially in the plan. Going from there, we have Nightcrawler, kind of like you mentioned, you need that sneaker. So like Nightcrawler just being able to teleport, shift through dimensions and stuff like that. It's very hard to stop a teleporter out of all the different ones. And then finally, Scarlet Witch. We can break reality if we want to. So if you've seen Multiverse of Madness, or if you even just read the books, Scarlet Witch is one of the most powerful mutants to ever walk the face of the earth. So I think we can handle some people. And I think I'm just going to call them the Chaos Collective, if you will.
I'm going to say yours also sounds chaotic.
Yep,
Yes.
Yours 100% chaotic.
I like that.
Dang. I like. Dang, all of our teams is kind of stacked.
Yes.
Busted.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to see a movie out of this.
Right? X-Men Civil War.
Wait.
Send them the podcast.
Hey, write that down right now.
Trademark.
Run me my money.
Hey, DC got to give us our money too, because they've been stealing some of our ideas.
Yup.
Run me my money.
Didn't Deadpool took Thanos' wife?
Yes.
Death. This man killed himself just to meet death.
So we went in out here on my team. All right. So with that, since this is the first podcast of February when it drops, we wanted to kick off a segment, Meech and I, where we call it the Black History Month Black Creator of the Week. It can be I was about to say up-to-date creator, but a current creator or a historical creator, one that we like, interested in, and just want to share and give them their credit and due. Meech, pop us off.
All right. So, I mean, what good way to pop things off and talk about somebody who I've actually had we've had conversations with very recently, and this is Internet Aaron and Internet Mikey of Internet City.
Internet City.
These are they are my boys, all right? Like they are hilarious. They bring all types of chaotic energy, specifically in their interactions, and like getting a chance to like talk with them for a little while. It was such an amazing opportunity. Like, of course, right now they're doing reactions, but they have like different channels to where they talk about other things, such as Mikey when he does vlogs or he talks about finances and and working on a business. We have Aaron when he talks about like anime. He talks about different Black Air Forces segments, and he also and then there's reactions, and just the interplay between the two of them is just infectious. It is just an amazing opportunity just to, of course, talk about them, get a chance to know them, and hey, they gonna be at DreamCon too, so I'll get a chance to meet them in person. So I'm about to be extra hyped for that.
Do you think one of them is going to be furry as well?
Unfortunately, Mikey is a confirmed furry. Don't worry, I'm gonna deal with him when it comes to it. In fact, he almost kicked me out of the whole group chat because of the fact I said some things about the furry community, but it's neither here nor there. All right, it's neither here nor there. You could tell like me and Demetrius here, we're kind of like Aaron and Mikey. I'm definitely the Aaron of the two.
I'm not a furry.
I'm the Aaron of the two. He's more so the Mikey, minus the furry part, but seeing as how Dejan here, he knows about Internet City, so he knows what I'm talking about when I say he's the Mikey of the two of us. So hey, that's neither here nor there. I love them boys. I love my Texas boys. So yeah, I definitely wanted to give them their flowers, especially to kick this off.
All right, cool. So with that, this is one of our shorter episodes, but it's definitely a fun, great time. Is there any recommendations that our guests have before we give ours?
See, for like recommendations for like black creators,
or anything that you want to mention?
So definitely want to mention this one creator. He's actually really amazing, especially like in the anime world as well too. And he also like collab with Internet City as well too. It is CJ the Champ.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That man be making me laugh every time he drops a video, and then every time he talks about the most. My favorite is literally just them like doing like the most disrespectful moments of anime history.
Yes.
And then just and then also his Black Air Force Energy one. And I just recently watched the one about Fear of Bradley from Fullmetal Alchemist. I was like, oh my gosh, he posted up like every single good point about these characters of how menacing they are.
Yeah, the Baki one had me open my eyes.
The Beyond Scary Straight one.
Yes,
he was never the same.
Gosh. Man, this man, imagine a big old buff black man named Biscuit.
Who gonna stop him? Who gonna say something?
They gonna say something about his wife yet, but.
All right, Meech, you got anything?
But yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm done now.
Hey, Meech, you got anything?
Oh man. Well, besides Internet City on YouTube, also want to shout out, of course, our other homie, the KLC Press. You know, these folks, you know, Ryan Stegman, Donnie Cates, they doing their thing along with the Supple Boys. I gotta shout them out every time I speak. Join the Substack, get access to very exclusive content and very hilarious content, especially whenever I'm on their live streams.
Nice. And if you want to listen to like any X-Men recommendations, just listen to our podcast from last week. We did like a full list of recommendations in terms of movies, games, comic book storylines, TV shows. So you can check that out. One recommendation I do have, Autumn, you would appreciate this, is since you're into softball. It's an anime called Ace of the Diamond. It's a baseball anime, and it is one of the most hype animes, sports animes I have ever watched. It had me in tears, season 1 and season 2. So
if you're about to get me an anime, I'm ready. I'll watch it.
It's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
Join us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Conversion. All right. So anything anybody wants to plug before we get into ours?
None so far.
All right, hit it, H.
All right. So of course we have ourselves our Instagram and our Twitter, which is at Blurred City 22. Come give us a like. Come give us a follow. Hit that bell for notifications. Of course, we got our YouTube, which is Blurred City Pod. We have our Patreon, which is Blurred City Pod. You can give a little bit of extra cheddar so we can pay the bills, and then you get access to very exclusive content, like exclusive episodes that haven't been released and seen the light of day. And also we have ourselves our Discord, which is where you get to join an amazing community. It's probably going to be partially where we do our gaming channel on, and just many different content there, and join an amazing and fine community that's linked in our Instagram. And then finally, we have ourselves our email, which is at blurredcity22@gmail.com. That's where you can submit your random fan theories, geek out freakouts. You can submit episode ideas. It's where you can submit questions for our Q&A sessions. So please feel free to email us with comments. We greatly appreciate it. And then finally, I have my own personal page on TikTok where I post semi-regular content, or like weekly content, of just the most out-of-pocket things I could ever think of. So if you want to see what type of hijinks I get into on my own, then hey, see a window into my madness.
Oh, did you hear Congress is introducing a TikTok ban?
Yes, I did. And I laughed because that is not happening.
Get this youth off the phones.
Yeah, that's going to implode immediately.
All right. For my individual author pages, you can catch my Instagram at Mitri_dash, METRI_DASH. For my Twitter at themad-16. And just for the plot looking forward, so next week we are going to have a special interview with another author, Jade Aurora, which we're looking super forward to. The week after, we are going to do Ant-Man Quantumania. No, not 2 weeks from then. We're going to do our Ant-Man Quantumania movie review. And then the week after our interview with Jade, we are going to do something that's going to be out of line, but it's going to be a special Valentine's Day episode. We are opening up. I'm actually scared to do this, opening up the Valentine's Day mailbag. So introduce any of your Valentine's related questions, whether that be life or like nerddom spaces. So that might be out of line, but it's going to be a fun time.
I told him it was going to be a horrible idea, but he decided to go. He decided to go through with it anyway, folks. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, do it. Let's inject some more chaos into this.
Yes, so that's going to be fun.
Get ready for the fandom to start putting all bunch of ships on you.
Well, that's what that episode is. It's going to be the best romances in anime. Wink, wink. All right. So with that, we are going to leave you with some words of encouragement from our guests. So anything you want to leave to the listeners?
Man, y'all, if y'all want to learn to get the anime zone with it, you're never too late to watch it. Watch anime, just get on in, join in the fun, and then of course watch One Piece as well too. Please. So people who love it.
And then from me, obviously I'm not as, I guess, nerdy as the rest, but it's still fun. You don't have to be any sort of level to enjoy it and really talk about it and stuff. So embrace any of your interests, and yeah.
Dope. And with that, we're going to send our teams to Disney in the script so we can get that Civil War movie for X-Men created. But it's not goodbye forever. It's just goodbye for now. And that's the Blurred City Podcast.
See ya later. And run me my money.